to TB was against zero, so we had a good plan to attack their zero, and then second half they played a lot more just press man coverage and even looked to double certain guys, and with TB out they went to double AJ, and they had a good plan in the second half, and we got behind the chains early on first and second down, and we had a lot of third and 10, third and 11s to try and convert, which is hard versus any defense.
Do you feel
You've been throwing the ball a lot to T. Higgins and C.J. Uzomah against Miami. Was that specifically a result of how they were going against A.J.? Or, what are some of the reasons that those two guys have been your most consistent targets?
I think obviously TB's been playing really well all year, and so has T. And, a lot of attention does get focused on A.J. in certain situations. And I think it kind of just played out that way in the game, where a lot of the first – kind of the first progressions of the play went to TB or T, and with zero coverage, a lot of those things, the ball has to come out because they're bringing more than you can block. So I think a lot of times it just so happened that we only got to our first read to get the ball out versus some of that pressure.
Speaking of AJ, what can you do to get him more involved? He was only targeted one time last game.
Yeah, I think we've got a good plan this week. AJ is obviously still a great player, and we need to get him the ball, and that's a lot on me. There were a couple times last game where I should have gone to him and I didn't, and I think getting him going early and kind of this week especially, and then early in the game, I think we'll feed both our confidences, and then we'll go from there.
It seems like this year, whenever AJ does have a pretty good game, he does get going early. I mean, is that a point of emphasis that try to just kind of see if you can get his confidence and momentum rolling early, that maybe that you see that the effects of that as the game wears on?
I think it works that way with a lot of guys, not just AJ, but I think a lot of guys, when they can get touches early, get some catches early, get a feel for how they're playing it, get moving down the field. I think it feeds a lot of confidence into a lot of guys when that happens for them. And so obviously, I'd love to spread the ball around and get everyone early touches and get everyone going early. And, hopefully we can get that going this week.
Do you feel like you see in the field pretty well at this stage, Brent? From week 1 to week 2, do you feel like that part of it's gotten better and your progression in your reads is accelerated and all that stuff?
I think so. Obviously still things to work on. When I watched the tape from last week, definitely things that they showed during the game that I maybe hadn't seen on film or something, and just have to react during the game. And I can definitely get better in some areas like that. But I think week to week, I'm trying to continue to improve and get better in that area.
Can you describe Jonah Williams went on IR today? Can you describe just the value that he's brought to left tackle and what you've seen from him?
Yeah, obviously a great player. Pretty sure 2 years ago was a first rounder. Obviously a special talent. It hurts to lose anybody, especially a left tackle. But it's kind of been that way this year for us. It's a next man up mentality, and we'll obviously wish him the best and a speedy recovery. But it's going to have to be the next man up takes place.
You played for a couple teams, a lot of different linemen. What makes him, a good left tackle to have protecting you out there?
I think he's very smart. I think he understands protections. He understands what he's doing when he's watching film, how guys are going to rush him, and I think he just has a great feel for that position, and obviously he's very talented on top of that. So I think that the combination of both those things make him pretty good.
You guys had run the ball pretty well the last couple of, and then it kind of fell off last week. I mean, everyone knows that. I think they're ranked 32 against the run, Dallas. I mean, is that being emphasized more this week? Does that have to be emphasized more? I mean, what do you need to get out of your running game this week against them?
No, I think every week it's emphasized to get a run game going. It doesn't matter what the defense is that we're going against. I think to win in this league, you need a run game and the pass game to complement. So, each week I think we put together a great plan to get the run game going. And I think early in the game last week we had a few pretty good runs, some 9-10 yarders, and we just need to sustain that throughout the course of the whole game.
After a game where you get hit as much as you did last week, how big of a challenge is it to keep the clock from speeding up in your head?
I have a lot of trust in our linemen, and I think playing football as long as I have, those things, to play quarterback, you have to have a short short memory. And I think obviously in certain games the clock does speed up a little bit as you go through the game, and you know that okay, they're getting some good pressure, they got good players, and but I think going into each week, you still got to go through your reads. Sometimes you're quicker about it just in terms of what you're seeing on defense. You can get through reads faster by what you see on the defense, but I think in terms of D-line pressure and all that usually doesn't cross my mind until it happens during the game.
So, Brandon, you said that you feel your body feels good. You don't have any residual bruising or anything like that you have to deal with that might limit you a little bit range of motion wise in practice or anything?
No, I'll be good to go.
Good.
Brandon, you had 3 starts with the Broncos. What do you remember in your progression from start to start as you get ready for your 3rd start as a Bengal, and how does it compare this time around?
I think I learned a lot from those first 3 starts last year. One about just the preparation and the mindset of going into each week, and there can't be any sort of let off. Doesn't matter the record, doesn't matter the team you're going against, and so I think I just learned a lot in terms of that aspect. And this week I've, in terms of preparation, each week tried to prepare the best that I can for each defense, and obviously every defense can be totally different than the one you just went through. So it's about learning from what you faced the week before, applying it to certain situations that you can apply it to versus the defense you're going against, and also being prepared for what the new defense is going to show you and where you're going to go with all your progressions.
2 more minutes with Brandon.
Did you ever bump into Andy Dalton along the way at any point? Did you ever watch any film of him, get any impression of him? Or
I've seen film of him, obviously. He's been around and been playing at a high level for a long time, and but no, I haven't had a chance to meet him or anything like that.
What's it like being, I guess, with this being Andy's return, his first game back, what's it like being the quarterback on the other side? I mean, does that what's the feeling going into that game? Does that change anything at all?
I don't think it changes much for me, just because this is, new for me from this team and the team we're going against and all that. And so there's not really anything for me to prepare that way for. Obviously, Andy coming back he's going to want to win, just like every game. But, this one might just be a little bit more special for him. And so we'll have to prepare. I know our defense will be ready, and we'll be looking to not let that happen.
When you're preparing for these games, this is the 3rd opportunity with, limited snaps, obviously. Do you have to almost consider the defense may increase their pressure packages, blitz packages, and all that sort of thing? I mean, how much do you say, all right, what they did to this team is going to translate here, or how do you go about putting together in your mind what you're going to expect?
I think you go on what you see on tape. Obviously, there's a lot of teams that run similar systems to ours, and you can see how they played those teams. And I think you prepare for what you see, but you also make adjustments in game. And I think every defense will throw something at you that you hadn't seen before, that you're not ready for, and you make it out of the play, and you obviously try to succeed, but then you make adjustments for what they're doing. And those in-game adjustments are just as crucial as preparing during the week.
One last question.
How is that part of it gone? How have the in-game adjustments to adjustments, all that chess match part of it, how's that gone?
I think it's gone well, obviously in certain areas, and for obviously defenses do the same thing. They make in-game adjustments for what we're doing. So, like you said, it is kind of a chess match, and you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but it's about winning more than you lose, and obviously scoring more points than the other team. But we'll keep doing what we're doing, and I think second half adjustments, I think we've done a good job, but we have to be better. Obviously, it starts on first and second down and not getting behind the change, which I think has been our biggest issue coming at halftime.
All right, Brandon, we'll let you go. We appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.